Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Samara from coachingconsciouscreators.com, where you can find immediately actionable tips on how to create the life that you desire. Today I want to talk to you guys about something that's so important and fundamental to not only manifesting successfully, but just life in general. And it's something that I think is really misunderstood and actually the root of most of the issues that we have on the planet today. And that is why you're not happy. So being unhappy is the number one reason why anyone does anything that is intentionally hurtful or even unintentionally hurtful to another person. So it's the reason for most of our suffering. So why are so many people unhappy? Why might we be feeling unhappy in any particular moment? It's for one reason and one reason only, and it's that we don't love ourselves. So that was the first thing that came to my mind when I was thinking of doing this video. It's a lack of self-love that causes unhappiness, and I'll go into more detail about why that is. But really, loving yourself is such a general term. What does it actually look like? What does it mean? So I said before I came on to make this video that I was going to change that phrase and say the reason anyone is unhappy at any given time is because they are not loving themselves in that moment. So loving yourself is an action. It's a way of being, of making all your decisions moment to moment. It's not something that is always on for some people and always off for other people. It's something that's very fluid and something that you have to become conscious of. So for me, the word love has always been an action word. There's people who will tell you that they love you, and if you ask them what that means, they can't really tell you. And the easiest example that I have when I'm trying to explain love to someone is the love that I have for my kids, right? I don't love them because they're perfect. I don't love them because they're easy to deal with. I don't love them because they always elicit feelings of joy and happiness from me, because they don't. They're complicated, they're difficult, they require a lot. Like, it is a job being a mom, and anybody who's a parent can relate to that, mom or dad. But loving them is making sure they've eaten every day. Loving them is getting to know them well enough to be able to tell right away when something is bothering them, and then feel compelled or take action in helping them resolve any issues that they may have. Loving them is, staying home with them when they're sick instead of going to do something else. Loving them is making sure that I structure my entire life around making sure they're in the right schools and that they're in a safe environment. So loving them is all of those little things. So if that's my definition of love, because to me, it's all about effectiveness. Like, what is proof of love? So with that definition, what does it mean to love yourself? Loving yourself means being interested in getting to know yourself well enough to address your own issues. Loving yourself means feeding your body things that are good for it, the same way that I feed my children things that help them to grow and to flourish. Loving yourself means caring about how you feel moment to moment. Loving yourself means structuring your entire life to make sure that your environment is one that you enjoy. If you are unhappy, I can guarantee you that you can search through all the things happening in your life and you can pick a place where you aren't putting yourself first. Because the truth is, even if your current situation or your current environment is one that you don't like, if you are loving yourself, so let's say, for example, you hate your job. If you're loving yourself, you're actively looking for a new job, or you are actively building skills that would make you more marketable on the job market. You are in the midst of an action plan, and you know that you're on your way to something better. That is loving yourself. So in the midst of that, you can be happy at a job you hate, knowing that you're taking all the steps to change that situation. Let's say you're in a relationship that's terrible, right? Or it's just not working out. There's some things going on. Loving yourself is doing the necessary things to either improve that relationship or remove yourself from it, because what you're prioritizing is your comfort, your growth, your happiness. And so even if you're in the midst of a relationship that's not working for you, if you can trust yourself to know that you're doing everything you can to move yourself to a better situation, you can still be happy in the midst of being in a bad relationship. So happiness is all about, what are you doing? Can you trust yourself? Can you trust yourself to always be doing things for your best interest? We're taught, in a lot of religious circles, and even, when we're in grade school getting taught about character, that we should be thinking of others first. And the reason why that is because when we're born, the world revolves around us. We do have to be taught to consider the thoughts, feelings, needs of other people. And so there's a heavy emphasis on that when we're children and when we're getting that subconscious programming. But the problem is we stay on that end of the spectrum as adults, and we become people pleasers, or we become people who are worried about what society thinks of us and how we're being viewed by others. And we lose sight of the fact that we are the only people who care enough. We care more than our spouses, as much as they might love us, our parents, about our well-being. And we are the only ones who can make sure that we are taken care of, that our emotional being, that our physical being, that our mental being is well cared for. And so anytime we're dealing with unhappiness, especially chronic unhappiness or unhappiness that doesn't lift, which, people might call depression. And I'm not comparing that to the chemical imbalances, although I have my own thoughts around that I won't talk about in this video. But when it's sustained unhappiness, it's probably because we've fallen into a habit of overlooking what we need, of not being trustworthy with ourselves to make sure that we are taken care of. We're not loving ourselves. Loving ourselves is that. Self-love is not believing that you're better than people. It's not being proud of your accomplishments or skills. It is saying, I got your back. What you need, I will make sure that you have. When you say that to yourself, you are loving yourself. And it doesn't have to always go with being selfish when it comes to others. So you can be your number one, have your own back, and you can still have the back of your family members and friends and children. As a matter of fact, when you prioritize your needs and your happiness, you have so much more to offer everyone around you. First off, as an example, because when they see you glow and they look at the choices that you make and they see you becoming the best version of yourself, and it's not something that is forced, it's not something that you're pushing yourself to do just because of the way you're going to be perceived. When people see you truly happy, truly investing in yourself, and that the love that you can give them in return is authentic and pure, and you're not losing anything by giving to them, that's a gift to them. So loving yourself is a gift to everyone around you. For the career example, I had to choose to move into a career path that was more aligned with who I really am. And now I'm so much happier, and my performance at work is 1,000 times better. Not that I was doing a terrible job before, but now I go above and beyond. And what I have to offer my organization is so much better, so much more rich. The organization is benefiting, and so am I. And that's the way it is with life. Like, when we move into what we really want, what really makes us happy, what really makes us comfortable, and what really meets our needs, what we have to offer everybody else is just amazing, and it seems almost unlimited. And that's what we see when we see, people like Oprah, or, Buddha, or, people who just moved into their authentic selves and who were unapologetic about meeting their own needs, were able to contribute so much to the world. And that's what you do when you love yourself, and that's how you find true happiness. That's how you find your purpose. You look within and you get honest about your desires, no matter, whether you think they'll be accepted or not, whether society thinks they're okay. You get honest about them. And you get honest about your needs, and you get honest about who you are and where you want to go, and you start working on that. That's self-love. And when you do that, when those needs are met and you feel satisfied and you know that you're taken care of in every way because you're making sure it happens, then you move into this space where you find your purpose in life. It becomes effortless. It's almost an outflow of self-love. So if you're feeling unhappy right now, just take inventory. Take inventory of your life, where you're feeling stuck, where you're feeling, like you just can't win, and examine whether or not you're truly taking care of your needs, loving yourself, prioritizing your authenticity in every area. Find out where you are missing the mark on loving yourself, and start taking actions that show you love, that show you that you have your own back, and watch what happens. Combine that with the power of your awareness in manifesting into reality the things that you desire, and you'll be unstoppable. Unstoppable. And the happier you get, the more things you'll think of that make you happy, and the more of those things will move into your life, things that you could never have dreamed of. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm now doing email coaching. If you're interested in that, email me at coachingconsciouscreators@gmail.com. The information is also on my website, coachingconsciouscreators.com. And thank you guys so much for watching.